Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this VANPO 64-piece torque screwdriver. So if you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So I did purchase this myself, but I have received other tools from VANPO before. So let me get this open. So here we have the set. Looks like there's a warranty card. Here's a spec calibration sheet, and this looks like a manual. Let's take a look at it. So it has a bit holder, 1/4-inch drive, main scale, secondary scale, handle. Looks like you pull down on the sleeve to adjust it. I may be on the wrong language. I think I was on German. So it looks pretty straightforward if you've ever used a torque wrench. So let's zoom in here a bit. I don't know if I'll be able to identify all of these things, but we have some different bits here. It looks like we have a offset screwdriver. I'll pull this out of here. A little nut driver, screwdriver. I'm not sure what all of these things are for. We have some big screwdrivers there. And here we have hex, star, Phillips. Looks like a posi drive. And those are labeled here, what they are. Then we have some extensions. This has some knurling on it. Let's see how long that is. It's about 4 inches. Looks like we have the bit adapter here. We'll take a closer look at that in a second. This must be another bit adapter. There's a magnetic one, that's a quick release one. That would essentially be like a 1/4-inch socket. The T handle. And then we have 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on sockets. And then we have, looks like a little adjustment wrench here. And we have the torque screwdriver. So this has a nice hefty feel to it. Okay, so if we look at the bottom here, there's a 1/4-inch drive. So you could probably put this T handle in there, looks like, to maybe get more torque. So it looks like to adjust this, I'll pull it down and then turn this. So let's test this out. I have a breaker here. It's kind of hard to read, but right here it says 36 inch-pounds or 4 Newton meters. So we have Newton meters here, inch-pounds here. Looks like it might be easier to do inch-pounds since these are fractional. So we'll do 36 inch-pounds. So I'll hold down on this red part. So that's what that little handle's for if you need a little bit more leverage. It is starting to get a little bit harder to hold on to this. So we're at 0 on the little 30 mark. So I'm actually going to use this. And we'll turn this until we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we're at 36. So if we turn it over, we're going to see we're past the 3.4. Well, I'd have to back that off to see exactly, but inch-pounds is a little more accurate over here, or easier to see. So now, for this I want a square drive. Don't see a square drive here, okay? Now I could use a regular screwdriver. Well, I guess I can use that since I have one of those here. But you can use other bits with this, they're 1/4-inch bits. So here we have one here. So it looks like we can use the magnetic adapter, or this other adapter. Let's try it. See how it works. So I need to pull up on this, slips in. This looks like it would lock in with the bits that have the little groove in it. I don't know. I mean, it's not incredibly secure, but that would fit in there like so. So I'll put a wire in here. Now this is going to ratchet, so I am going to tighten this up a little bit. Super loose right now. Now I can tighten this down. It's getting a little hard for me to hold. I don't have a lot of strength in this hand right now. I'm going to put that T handle on the back. Give me a little bit more strength. Okay, so it slipped there when it hit the right torque. Guess I can try that again. So you can see that slipped. So now I know that's torqued to the right value. And then this should not pull out at this point. So I can pull up on this and take this out. And here I have one with a little groove in it. And that locks that in, although you can just pull this whole thing right off here. And this bit's kind of worn. That's a square drive. Now I do think this would be a little easier to use. You know, if this was in a panel, you could tighten it down in the panel, and then you could get the better leverage here. It's a little tricky to hold it and do it right here on my bench. But I do like that it has this little thing here. If you have weaker hands or poor grip, you can use that. Or if you just need the extra leverage. Because this is, 4 Newton meters, but if you get up to a bigger breaker, you'll see 5 Newton meters on those. Now, I don't know if it says in the manual, but I know with regular torque wrenches, you only want to use them in one direction. I don't see that on here, but it does say to adjust the torque down when you're done using it. So a torque screwdriver like this could be handy for doing electrical work. You could use it on a bicycle or automotive applications where you have lower torque. If you've used a torque wrench, I think that's going to be straightforward. A lot of torque wrenches have a little knob here you tighten. Some have a little thing you pull down. There's different styles. This is the kind where you pull down to adjust it. And it does have an assortment of bits here, but it does seem to be missing the square drive, which would be nice. Because I think a lot of people want to use this with electrical, and square is pretty common in electrical. Or the ones that are square with the little flathead screwdriver on it. They're like this with the square built in. But otherwise, this looks like a pretty decent set. So that's the VANPO torque screwdriver. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.